Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up with Haley at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. I am your host, Haley Garcia, and I am the founder of the Haley Garcia Group, which is a real estate group here in the Woodlands, Texas. I am also an executive business coach. And I have decided to start this live LinkedIn every second Tuesday of the month, second and third Tuesday of the month, because I think it is very important that we build community within our relationships. We have so many amazing relationships here and people that I'm going to have on as guests that I think you will find great value from. So my very first guest is Mr. Darren Morris. He is a great friend of mine. He is my partner in real estate. He is the director of sales on our team. Welcome, Darren, to our very first show. I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm excited too. Yes.
So, the theme of our show, Darren, is rise, shine, and live aligned. And after being with me on our team for 8 years now, you know a little bit about that, right?
I do. I love rising early and shining early, and I love getting up and before everybody else and just getting the day started. And I know you do too.
I do. You and I are the early birds, right? We're at the gym at 5 a.m. It's good stuff.
It's true.
So start out this morning. Tell me something good. Let's kick off our show with something good.
Well, when you asked me to come up with something good, I there's so many good things that are happening right now, and one of the things that really stuck out to me recently, I was working with a family that came into town from Florida, and they could not travel over here and look at houses like normal. So we had to come up with some way to view homes remotely, and we decided that FaceTime was going to be the best way for us
Sure.
to do that.
Yep.
I was able to sit down. They've never bought a home in Texas, and it's a totally different market. It's a totally different. The paperwork's different. Most people don't know what option periods are from other states, so I had to go through the whole contract with them, and we did that all virtually. And we found the perfect home for them in Creekside here in the Woodlands. And they moved in and moved over here from Florida a couple of weeks ago. And they couldn't be happier. They love it here. They love the energy that we have over here in Texas. And I'm just so happy I got to help them.
Yeah, that is awesome. And you were able to do it all remotely. And that is such a huge service to families when they're making such a big move. Stress is obviously super high. They've got kids transferring schools and jobs and, you name it, right? All the stressors are happening. That is something great. I think
You
that's
know
better
what?
than
One of the other things that I was able to do was to talk with you about that particular house. I know you remember talking to me about that house, and I asked you if you thought this would be a good fit, and it was absolutely yes. Go for it. It's perfect because you have so much knowledge about the area that you actually knew that house pretty personal.
I
So
do
thank you for
remember.
your
I
help
do
there.
remember. I'm so glad they got it and you got them moved. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Dave, Bob, Cam, Ryan. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. So, Darren, as we talk today, I know that we are going to chat a little bit about the real estate market. We're going to chat a little bit about who we are. That way, everybody just kind of gets to know who we are as a team. And what I want to add is that you really lead up our sales division. So I manage the listing division and the oversight of the team, and you lead the sales division and also the agents. And you do such an amazing job at it. So thank you for being my partner in crime on that, because your role on our team really allows me time to do my executive coaching as well as manage our seller clients.
Yes.
So I'm glad that family made their way over. It reminds me of just last night, in this world post-COVID, right? We have so many experiences with the virtual showings and doing FaceTime and,
Yes.
trying to locate properties off the market. I was out walking Winnie last night in the park out front and ran into a past client that we found her property off market last year. And, one of the things that goes right into living aligned is we know that in the world of real estate, we're usually helping people through major life transitions, right? Some of them can be really good. It can be a marriage or a new baby. Some of them can be tough, right? It can be a death in the family, a divorce, a job loss. There's lots of major life changes that cause us to move. And this particular client had gone through a pretty tumultuous divorce. It was pretty rough, and it lasted about 3 years. And I helped her sell another property. And then, as the market shifted in the past couple of years, it's been really difficult to find a new property. So we did find one off market, and I saw her out in the park just last night, right before this. And she flagged me down and wanted to talk to Winnie for a minute. And then she said, "You know what, Haley, I have to tell you, I have never been happier in my life in this home that you found me."
I love that.
And, you and I both know everything happens for a reason, right? I help facilitate finding the home, but you could just tell that she was truly happy. And it was so great to see her move through the stage of life that I had supported her through, right, for the past 3 years,
Yeah.
and find a place, in one of our popular Woodlands community neighborhoods that she was super happy in. So lots of good stuff happening when we sell real estate, right?
Yeah. Isn't it great when you meet the potential client for the very first time? You don't know anything about them, but by the end of the transaction, you're their best friend. You know their dogs' names, their kids' names, everything about them, and that I love that part of this business. Absolutely love it.
It's great. It's great, right? Because every human needs somebody else to come alongside them and hold space once in a while and show support, right? And we get the privilege really of being able to do that with a lot of our clients, whether it's via FaceTime or in person.
It's a privilege. You're right.
It
They
absolutely is.
give us their trust, and it's an amazing feeling.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the market real quick. I know, we get asked that question every day, right? Everybody wants to know, what is the market doing? Is it going to slow down? Is now the time to buy? I know for us as a team, we had a great first quarter. We closed 20 million the first quarter, which was about 35 families that we moved between January and March, which is a great first quarter. The prices, as everybody can see, are not going down. I don't know what you've been seeing on the buyer's side because we really haven't caught up about it in the past few days. But over this past week, I have noticed on the seller's side that the buyer's behavior is getting a little bit more hesitant. They're not quite as quick to make multiple offers and to get into the bidding situation. Have you sensed that on your end?
Yeah, I think we're on the same page there. Being in and around real estate 24 hours a day, we are able to notice those little changes that start kind of adding up over time. And I think over the last 7 to 10 days, we have really noticed a pretty significant slowdown. Not a slowdown, but just maybe a leveling off. It was very apparent to me during my open house this weekend that we didn't have the traffic that we've had in the last couple of weeks, which there's no reason. It was pretty much the same price point, the same location even. It was right down the street from one I did a couple of weeks ago that was packed.
Right.
So I feel like, and this is an opportunity for my buyers, and I have told them in the last couple of days that if we've been sitting on the sideline waiting for a little bit of a slowdown in the market, this is it. We need to jump right now because our interest rates they're not gonna go down. They're going way high this year. And this may be the opportunity for us to go out and not be outbid by
That's it.
multiple offers like we have been all year.
Right, right. No, I agree with you 100%. And I also, I get asked the question a lot, do I think that the Woodlands, Houston area is in a bubble? And of course, none of us really know, right? Things can change in the world, at the drop of a hat, and it could change the bubble per se. But I honestly think that right now, Texas and the Woodlands area is simply catching up with the rest of the country from an appreciation standpoint.
I think so.
So I think you're absolutely right. It is now is the time to buy. And we know the feds are talking about, the interest rates going up throughout the year. So that's obviously going to decrease buying power, which is something for buyers to stay in touch with. So,
Well, that's very true. I think, and Cam just asked the question about, do you think prices will moderate? And that's kind of what we're talking about. I mean, you and I have talked about that over and over, and our buyers and our sellers are asking what's happening with prices. And really, we don't see prices coming down at all.
no, I don't
Because
see it coming down, but I do think they'll stabilize. I do think we'll see a little bit of stabilizing with them. I don't know that we'll continue to have the appreciation jumps that we have had in the past 24 months.
I don't think we can.
Right. Right. But I do think, even if prices stabilize and interest rates go up, again, the buying power comes down. So
Yeah.
it's back to now is a great time, right?
It's a
Now
great time to sell or buy. I think this is the best time to make a move right
that's
now. Yes.
so, one of the other things I was going to mention that I'm super proud of because it's definitely a team effort. We are in the finalists for the Houston Business Journal Top 25 Teams again for
Man,
2021. So we'll find out where we rank come the end of May. So that's super exciting. So thank you for all of your hard work to help us rank in the Houston Business Journal. Um, I want to jump in now, Darren, and really talk about who we are. I want to talk about who we are in the community. And I just have a few questions for you that I would love to hear your perspective on. So, when you think about the relationships that we have personally and professionally, tell me what you feel the value of those relationships are when it comes to our industry and our line of work.
oh man, relationships are everything, Haley. From the vendors that we use to the relationships that we have in our community with our other realtor partners up here, and especially with our clients. I think number one, our relationship with our clients is the most important thing that we have on our team. We spend a ton of time um, thinking about how we can be deeper in our relationships with our clients, how we can be more effective in our communication with them. And it's all encompassing of this whole entire job, because really, like you said before, we have to make sure that our clients are trusting in us 100%, and that we're there for their best interest. And we really, really take that very seriously.
I totally agree. And I also think in this type of a market, our relationships become even more important, right? Because not
Yes.
only do we have to network with our fellow agents, like, we've got Cam Collins on with us today, and Cam and I are great buddies, and we partner together in doing deals all the time. And when you have those relationships with other agents, we really are able to collaborate, right? To get the deal done and to help both the buyer and the seller, depending on who we represent. So those relationships are invaluable. I totally agree. And as I said at the start of the show, it is really one of the reasons that I wanted to start this show, because we have so many amazing people that add so much value to our lives and to the way that we do business. There's nothing better than, collaborating together and thinking of ways to help one another even more.
Well, it's a win-win situation too,
Yes.
because what comes to mind is one of my builder partners that I've been working with down in the city, down in the Heights, for before I even met you. So this is like 8 or 9 years we've been working together, and he and I that was when I very first started real estate, and he ran into me at an open house and decided that I would be a good fit to be his listing agent. And so I was like, all in, whatever it takes. And
Absolutely.
it was so great. And so over the years, we've worked together, and I've found land for him. And then he builds brand new, beautiful construction in the Heights. And he is now, I mean, we have 20, almost 20 houses under construction right now
So good.
inside of the Houston Heights area, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm so, that relationship that I've built over the years is one of those things where it can help both sides.
Absolutely. And then the amount of people that you meet through each relationship, right? It compounds so fast. Um,
Absolutely.
one of the quick stories that I wanted to share when it comes to relationship. This was just last week. I had a closing, and 2 days before closing, major AC units broke in the house,
Of
and
course.
I called one of our great relationships with one of the home warranty companies, and she helped us turn it around and get everything replaced and fixed in a matter of 24 hours. For these sellers to still get to the closing table on time, and then also to make sure the buyers now get new ACs. So without my relationship with her, I wouldn't have been able to make that happen. So it's invaluable.
It's fantastic.
I'm
Yes.
excited for the people that we're going to have on the show in the upcoming weeks.
All right. Awesome.
So now I would love to hear from your perspective, why are people moving to the Woodlands? Why do they want to be here so bad? And we know they do, right? They're coming from East Coast, West Coast, all over the place. They all want to be here. So what do you think?
All right. Well, I'm gonna make sure I get this right. So, number one, best place to live for I don't know how many years in a row. I think it's at least 3 or 4.
Quite a few.
Niche.com. And so it's just the word is getting out that the Woodlands is the one of the best places in the nation to live. It's so great up here. Our schools are top notch. We have over 200 miles of bike trail. I mean, you're not very far away, no matter where you live in the Woodlands, to get right up on a bike trail and be lost for as many hours as you want to be lost for.
More than you can ride a bike on, really.
Yeah, it's great. It's so great. And just the lakes that are around here, it's so serene and quiet and clean, and it's just a beautiful place.
It is amazing. I agree with you. And I think the other thing that really draws people in is the infrastructure. We have over 2,000 businesses here. We have a couple of really large corporations. There's so many people that live, work, and play here, right? Like you actually don't have to leave the container of the Woodlands, especially now with all of our shopping, with all the restaurants. We've got Hughes Landing and Market Street and, all the different areas that are true amenities.
Yeah.
And I think too, for the people that might be on with us that don't live in the Woodlands, we're broken up into villages. And so every village has its own shopping center and its own grocery store. So you literally could walk if you wanted to from your home to one of the village centers, or you can hop in the car and take a 5 or 7 minute drive to the front of the Woodlands where you can hit Hughes Landing and Waterway and all of the big amenities. So it's pretty
so
great. It is as cliche as it sounds. It really is that big city with that small town feel, and it sounds like a commercial, right? But it's just the truth. It's how it feels to be here. And then you're surrounded in the towering trees and the, beautiful medians that the Woodlands keeps up and has wildflowers in right now. And the bluebonnets are coming out. I mean, it's a great place.
It's so great. And, we're so close to Houston that even in rush hour, you can jump right up on the Hardy Toll Road and be downtown Houston in 30 or 35 minutes. So
Absolutely.
it's so close to everything, yet it feels kind of removed from the hustle and the bustle and the chaos of the actual city of Houston.
Right. We're also 25 minutes to the international airport, which
Oh, yeah.
you
Yeah.
know as a pilot, since you
Yes.
don't fly out of that one, but you know how great that is to be able to run to one of the small airports if you're flying private or to the international airport. That's a great thing as well.
Right.
So let's talk about the growth of our team. And I know that is a really big topic. So we'll keep it somewhat succinct, but tell me from your perspective, how do you feel about our team growing and where we are today?
Well, we are reading we always have a book that we're reading. And right now we're reading Brene Brown, Dare to Lead. And I think that's probably the second or at least second, maybe third time we've read it since I've been on the team.
Yeah, she knows a thing or two.
Such a great book. We love it. But that just shows what kind of level that we are at, really. Our growth on our team is not how big we are. We are a small team. We have 8 people on our team. And I think you and I have talked where max 10 where we would be at. And it's more about quality than quantity.
Right.
We like to be aligned with the same people. We do disc tests before we hire people. We do personality questionnaires and make sure that you're going to be aligned with our culture before you come into our fold. And it's just one of those things where we keep the quality really high.
Right. It is. It's so important. And I know we've worked on this over the years of making sure that all of the team members are aligned, right? I love the word aligned. It's just something that is really near and dear to me in all aspects of life. And we went to the Compass retreat just a couple of months ago, and they had me teach one of the classes for everybody on teams and how to structure them and how to grow them. And I thought it was so interesting because I think I taught the class 4 or 5 times to different groups of, 200 to 300 agents across the country each time. And one of the number one questions was, how do you get team members to stay? And I know you and I were laughing because my answer on stage to everybody was, you don't always want them to. So what are you afraid of? And it's not from a perspective of you not wanting someone, but it's from a perspective of if you do end up with somebody on your team and they're not aligned, it's okay to part ways. And so to really be a leader of your team, regardless of what industry you're in, right? And to have that mindset of, here's our values, here's the culture that we have within our team, here's how we work and care for our clients in an aligned manner. And if that doesn't fit with who you are and you made your way here, it's totally okay for you to go. And there's no hard feelings, right? And as a team leader, I think it's so important to not live in a sense of constant fear of loss, right? That you're going to lose someone. And I know we talked the employment division of the world right now, right? We'll just call it that. Is it's very tight, right? Good people are being recruited by other companies all the time because the unemployment rate is so very low that there's not a lot of people in the job market. And so when you do find the good team members, you mentioned that we're reading Dare to Lead right now. Over the years that you've been with me, how many book reads have we done?
I mean, I wish I could turn my camera around and show you the books that are lined up on my bookshelf here. And that's not even including all of the books that are inside of my iPad. And they're all books that I'm reading with you, and not just with our team, but our leadership team has a book we're reading.
Right.
It's just a way of having that kind of accountability to yourself and having us grow as a team together. We learn so much from each other, and really it's having that book club and having the coaching and having the one-on-one communication within our team that makes us all better and all rise up together. It's so great.
It does. It does. Ken Proctor just chimed in and said, revenue cures the bills, culture cures the ills. He is so right. Because culture, the clients that we serve can feel the culture that we are, right? They can absolutely feel if they're working with one of us, knowing that we're aligned, or if they work with someone that may not be aligned, it's an immediate phone call to me going, I don't really know about this person, right? And you and I know over the years,
Yeah.
it's okay, right? People come and go sometimes. We do have an amazing team right now, and everybody is very aligned, and everybody digs into our book reads that we do every Friday together. And I think it's something that it's really enjoyable, and it's that collaborate without ego, right? It's learning to show that vulnerability piece within your team and go, hey, these are areas where we struggle. How can we be better? So our growth is always about numbers as well, right? We always want to be growing revenue and growing the number of families that we take care of. But really and truly, to stay aligned, our growth is about how we're growing as individuals and together as a unit.
Well, and
Um,
one thing that I've learned over the years as well is that the money will come. You know what I mean? It's just the if we do what we know we need to do for our clients, we have the relationship building that we're doing with our clients. We keep them close. I was thinking last night when we were talking about what we were going to say. I mean, you really don't do that much advertising because you have built so many close relationships over the years that they just come back to you no matter what. They say, "Hey, Haley, I need to buy a house," or "Haley, I need to sell." And they're repeat clients over and over, and then they tell their family, and it's just this huge relationship building that we've had, or that you've had over the years, and it's just very apparent that that is the key right there.
It's to take care of people, right? Like we said at the beginning, it's to show up and take care of them whenever something is going on in life, whether it's something to celebrate or something to hold space and support them and move through. Either
Yes.
way, when we show up and we take care of them, and obviously knowing we stay on top of our market knowledge as well, right? Like we really are market experts because in our industry, to be able to be an industry expert and then have the human element, that's really where you find the true success. And you do an amazing job at that as well. So thank you for being my partner in that because we do care for a lot of amazing people in our community.
Thank you.
So, Darren, tell us, why did you just recently move to the Woodlands? I
I
know
know. I guess the
you're
cat's out of the bag.
you're a city dweller down there in the city, and I kept pushing to come up here. So
I
tell us
know.
why.
Well, I mean, let's just be honest. I've been like commuting back and forth from Houston for at least a couple of years. And I will always have my foot, my toe, a little toe down in Houston because I've got a house down there. My builder relationships that I have, new construction down in the Heights, I'm still going to be down there and
Love
still
those
have a
places.
presence. I've got lots of clients down in Houston area. So I love Houston and I'll always have a foothold there. However, recently I have decided that to be more present and to be more available for my clients here that are starting to be more north based in the Montgomery County area,
Right.
and to help take some of the load off of your plate so that you can go and do more of that, the listings and that kind of coaching stuff that you're doing. I just needed to be up here. I needed to be right here in the middle of the Woodlands, and I can't tell you how glad I am. I'm so glad I moved up here. I know I've been talking to you about it, but I feel like I'm on vacation right now. I've
So great.
I know I've lived down inside of Houston, inside of 610 Loop for like 22 years,
Yeah.
and just to be outside of that, it's I don't know. I feel like I'm on vacation, like I said.
And now you know why everyone else wants to move to the Woodlands, right? There it is. It's
It's so
like being on vacation 24/7.
true. It's so true. I love
Well,
it up here.
I
Absolutely.
am super happy that you're up here. And yes, you being here definitely does help a little bit more from the perspective of you don't have to make the commute, right? But I know you kept your house in Houston and you absolutely sell in both places all the time. So home base up here will be a great addition to all of that.
I agree 100%.
So this has been super fun. 30 minutes goes by so very fast. Thank you to everybody who joined us. We are going to be on the first and third Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m. Rise, shine, and live aligned. We've got great visitors that are going to be in the next few weeks. And then Darren, you of course will be back on circling in as we rotate. If anybody listening would like specific topics or are interested in certain market points or anything like that, feel free to always let us know. We would be more than happy to add in specifics. You can also go to our website at haleygarciagroup.com and find us there. Make sure that you're connected with us on LinkedIn. And Darren, I am so grateful for you being in my life and in my business as a partner. Thank you for jumping on early. I was going to say getting up early, but I know you're up anyway. So
Well, I'm
I'll see
grateful to
you.
be here as well, Haley. I'm like the most best thing that's happened to me is being on your team. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Have an amazing day. We will see you the first and third Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Darren.